Okay, so what I want to do is explain the website that we're using for using our breadboards to do some basic Python programming, controlling different things on that board using the GPIO pins on the Raspberry Pi. And there's a critical piece of software that we need to be able to do that, and that's called GPIOZero, which is right up here. And the GPIOZero folks have created thing or activities they call recipes. Don't ask me why, but that's cool. So they're basically little activities that demonstrate how to control the GPIO pins using Python coding. There's a link up here in the very beginning that talks about installing or updating your software. To do that, you'll need to go into your terminal prompt on your Pi and then run these commands right here. So the first command you would run in your terminal window would be sudo apt update. Then the next command you would do would be sudo apt install python 3 -gpiozero. You don't need to do Python 2, and then you need to install pip. If you run into a problem that says with that or get an error message, I'll have a command that you can run or a thing you can do to get rid of that error message, and you can move on from there. If you're trying to do this on a PC Mac, that's fine. But since we're doing this on a Raspberry Pi, you'll want to do that. Use these instructions here. And then you've got different documentation if you want to go through and look at that. The next thing really to get into are the basic recipes, and you link here, and that's under number 2. And these describe what you're doing. Now, all of this will be in the code that you'll copy and paste into a program called Thonny a little bit later on, but this will show you kind of and give you some information about what's going on. The big thing here that you're going to need moving forward is this diagram, and I've got an alternative to it that I'll probably post as a video that you can see as well, but the pins are all the same, and you might want to save this and keep this as an image somewhere else that you can refer to, so you're not having to jump back and forth while you're wiring things up. But the GPIO pins have a pattern. They're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But then they correspond to GPIO number with the numbering scheme that's a little bit different. And so that can get a bit confusing if you're not careful. The pins here on the left are odd numbered. So if you're counting up to GPIO 17, as you will be in some of these activities, then look here and you'll see GPIO 17, and you'll see that that's pin 11. So what you would want to do here is count up 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, and that will give you GPIO pin 17. You can also look and come down here and see that pin 17 is the GPIO pin that this code is referencing. So in this case, it's GPIO 17. If you're doing, try to get down to the buttons, you'll see that button and then this label 2, that corresponds to the pin number 2 up here, which is a 5-volt power source. And then you may see some references to this pin, and this is a ground pin. As you know, with anything electrical, you've got to have a positive and a negative. That's referred to ground would be the negative, and then the 5 volts here are the positive leads. They've also got 3 volt power on the GPIO pins. Generally, we haven't been using that, but if you notice on this particular diagram and for the Raspberry Pi 5, that 3V3 or 3 volt pin is number 1, and the first 5 volt pin is number 2. That's just important to keep in mind as you're moving forward. So as you go down, the first thing you'll want to do is go ahead and wire up the pins, and some diagrams are posted here. I've got a video that you'll see that actually uses the breadboard, and I'll have another short video about breadboards here in just a second, or in my playlist. And it walks you through how to use the breadboard to make this wiring diagram. And then you can do things with variable brightness, and then at 2.5 you actually start to use the breadboard. Here you'll see it, and you can notice that the number 2, the 5 volt positive pin, would go to one side of this button, and then the negative, which would be pin number 6, would jump onto the breadboard, and then from the breadboard jump over to the switch. And you can see how that happens. And then below each one of these little diagrams, you've got some various coding or various codes that you can copy and paste into Thonny, run it, and then what should happen is when you, like in this instance, when you press the button, then you'll get a message on your screen, kind of thing. So that's basically how that works. Keep going down. I'll have instructions on which ones to go ahead and do. The ones that are most promising right now get you down into the LED bar graph with this coding down here. So that's how you use the recipes for the coding, and I hope this is helpful. See you in the next one, and happy computing.